Shalom again. Woo, that is so delicious. That is so delicious. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So let me see. Shalom, shalom again, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash. Yahweh is the Most High God, and Yahweh Shai is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus the Christ. The Rakakodash in the Paleo Hebrew is the Holy Spirit. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who've been ruling well through the Spirit, teaching His word and believing His word to the best of their ability, bringing forth 100% of the Most High's doctrine. Lord, willing that they can continue to endure and to pursue, you know, pursue that crown, man. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect that are scattered four corners of the earth, teaching His word and believing His word to the best of their ability. Lord willing, the Spirit is upon them to endure and to continue to be sincere. Shalom to the Akwakim that are believers of the Most High's ministry. Lord willing, you can continue in your lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. And Lord willing, the Most High have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. Beware of who you're learning from, okay? I just got to say that. We're going back into 2Esdras 6 again. Of course, I didn't finish it the last time we was going into it, right? I didn't really get to dive into it, but where we're starting off from, we already finished 2Esdras chapter 6 verse 110. So now we're going into the 11th verse, and this is when Ezra is persistent to know the end time. So we're kind of getting into like the signs of the end, and we understand before we was reading that it was already predestined, really starting with Esau, that he's the end of this world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows after. That's point in blank. There's no point of, like the elders always say, there's no point of arguing the scriptures. It's very plain, right? So going straight to verse 11 in the KJV, this is what it says. I answered then and said, O Lord, what bears rule if I found favor in thy sight? I beseech thee, show thy servant the end of thy tokens. Thereof thou showest me part last night. So he showed him part of the end times, which is verse 1 all the way to 6. Verse 13, it says, So he answered and said unto me, Stand up upon thy feet and hear a mighty sounding voice, and it shall be as it were a great motion. But the place where thou standest shall not be moved. And therefore, when it speaketh, be not afraid, for the word is of the end, and the foundation of the earth is understood. Right? I just want to, I love smacking myself sometimes when I'm getting in there, right? Reading 13, but I'm going to read it in the GNT. It says, Stand up, and he said, and you will hear a voice, you will hear a very loud voice. If the place where you are standing is violently shaken, while the voice is speaking, don't be afraid. The message will be about the end of the world, and the foundation of the world will understand that the voice is speaking about them that will tremble and quake because they know that they will undergo a change when the end comes. You see how much that hit you? We're going to undergo a change. When this end come, really right now we're ushering into it. But when that MOTB come, it's going to be a huge change because it's going to usher in Jacob's trouble. And Second Esdras is a great book because when you go into the 14th, or really the 15th to 16th chapter, the Lord already gave us the cheat codes. Jacob trouble coming, and it's going to be vicious. You know, this is why all of us as individuals need to hold on to this truth with your dear life. You know, with your dear life. It's like you climbing a mountain, you mountain climbing, and you at the, like, you right there, but then you just slip and you only got one hand on this one rock. If you let it go, it's over. And you got some people that free climb without no strings. And imagine you free climbing and you just hanging on by one hand. Like, you got a lot of people that got stories that they was holding on for dear life. You know, you got to hold on dear life to this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You know, I'm gonna read it again in the GNT, verse 16, that the voice is speaking about them. They will tremble and quake because they know that they will undergo a change when the end comes. Right? So we gotta really think, when you think about Esau as the end of the world, because it says they will tremble and quake because they know that they will undergo a change. Now you start thinking Revelations 12 and 12. Why is Satan moving so quick? Because he got a short time. The higher ups know, you know, the higher ups know what's going on. They know they're gonna be trouble, and they want to take as many with them. Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil, which is a manipulator, a liar, and a deceiver, is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. You know? And anybody that that's this devil is manipulating to fall for his craftiness, his agenda is for you to fall with him. You know? Always be alert. So back to Second Esdras in the KJV, it says, and why, 16 KJV, and why? Because the speech of these things trembleth and is moved, for it knoweth that the end of these things must be changed. And it happened that when I had heard it, I stood up upon my feet and hearkened. And behold, there was a voice that spake, and the sound of it was like the sounds of many waters. Right? And a lot of y'all probably went to the beach. You know what the sound of many waters is. Let's look at this little precept, right? When you go to Revelations, the first chapter. God even got the time with Moses, right? He got scared. This is Revelations chapter 1, verse 15. And it says, and his feet like unto fine brass as if they burn in a furnace, and his voice as the sounds of many waters. Right? You can go to Ezekiel 1 and 7, Daniel 10 and 6. You got multiple precepts that go into that, right? But his voice is like many waters. You go to Revelations, the 14th chapter, verse 2. It says, and I heard a voice from heaven as a voice of many waters, and as the voice of great water, of great thunder, and I heard a voice of harpers harping with harps, right? I'm telling you that it just, if we was to hear the Lord right now, a lot of us would be scared shitless, you know? Now, depending on if you're serving the Lord, a lot of us, if we're, service of the Lord, like Moses, a lot of us was, either the word of the Lord came upon you, you felt the presence of the Lord within you, you know, we us that abide in the Lord and connected to the Lord is not going to really terrify you. But of course you're intimidated, you know. But the ones that's not connected to the Lord, I'm telling you, they're going to be shitless. Right? Back to Second Esdras, reading verse 18. And if you wanted another precept, Revelation 19:6, verse 18, it says, and it said, behold, the day is come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth. Right? So the Lord eventually is going to visit the earth. And when he comes, he's going to be judging the people living on the earth. Right? When we seen floods, tornadoes, right? Even Kobe, you know, that's a judgment. Fires, a judgment, you know. When we see multiple people dying on a higher scale, it's the Most High. Isaiah 29:6. You know, a lot of people. Isaiah 29:6. It says, "Thou shalt be visited of Yahweh of hosts, with thunder and with earthquake, and great noise, and storms and tempests, and flames of divine fires." A lot of people got killed by these things. You know, I seen videos on YouTube by a dude getting hit with two thunderbolts. You would have thought he was dead by the first one, but he got back. Those is all judgments from the Lord. But just imagine, um, like when it's a huge death, when a spirit from the left hand side hit some of these Edomites, like the dude that killed 10 of them people at Tops, a spirit on the left hand side hit him to kill people. He went in a rage of killing. The spirit hit the higher up Edomites that tried to destroy the Twin Towers and say the Muslims, the Irans did it. A spirit was on them to do that. The Lord is visiting this place. The Lord has spirits made for vengeance. You know, what just happened in the I think it was a memorial parade. 34 was shot and I think 4 died. Something like that. That was the spirit of the Lord, man. What happened in the Passover? When Moses had Passover, a death spirit came, you know? But even more when you go into this verse, the Lord is going to soon, he's going to come with judgment with great wrath. What did he say in Luke? Let's go to Luke, the 12th chapter. You can hit this in many ways. This is Luke chapter 12, and I just want verse 49. It says, "And I come to send fire on the earth, and what will lie if it already be kindled?" The Lord is going to come with wrath, and then he's gonna have his spirits on the left hand side, even the right hand side. They're going to be handling business. Revelation 7, the Lord is telling you that he got the angels holding the wind until the elect are sealed, right? And guess what? That's all in a switch, a twinkle, a finger, a word that the Lord give him to go. Soon as you see turmoil happen, you got to know in the spirit the Lord is letting them angels let the four winds go. Put that spirit on them to press that damn button, right? Back to 2Esdras chapter 6, verse 19. It says, "I will call to account those who have caused harm with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion will have when the affliction of Zion will have an end, and when the time that is to come will be finished." Right? Very just plain, just going in. The Lord will punish those who have hurt others, right? With their injustice, right? With their wrongdoings, basically with their unrighteousness, right? And uh, uh, the humiliation of Jerusalem would turn. It will change, right? So let me just give you. Actually, I can move. I could probably move with this phone. You know what? Let me get it. Let me go to Limitations, right? Limitation, the 4th chapter. Because it's really saying Jerusalem, Israel's humiliation will come to an end. What did it say at the end? 19. It says, when the time that is to come will be. No, hold on. When the affliction of Zion will have end, right? So the humiliation, the ridicule, the slavery, all of this will turn from Jerusalem, from Israel as a people. And whatever is turned from us is going to turn from our land, right? So this is Limitations chapter 4. And if you read in the NLT, that thing hits you bing, 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 bing. And it hits you KJV too. So this is Limitations chapter 4 in the KJV, verse 21. It says, "Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked." So just like how we were drunken and we were broken down, they're going to have to drink of that cup, and that cup is the wrath, right? Verse 22, it says, "The punishment of thy iniquities is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. Slowly each and every day uh, uh, we paid our debt. For the elect's sake they did, you know? Like, we're almost there, man. Lord willing, I could do a lesson on this. We're almost there. It said, O daughter of Zion, he will not more carry thee away in captivity. He will visit thy iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. And you get discovered now. Discovered now through the Spirit, because the men of the Lord been teaching about you ever since we first started this thing. You know? And then as soon as those bombs fully drop, actually when you bring the MOTB, your wound is about to be shown. Normal people are gonna know the white man is the damn devil that the Bible speak of. People are gonna actually start to notice, man. You know? And I'm pleading that the Lord um, don't let our enemies triumph over us anymore, man. I'm ready to go. But you 2/3 gotta wile out. Y'all wickedness gotta go to the extreme. This LGB community, mostly we always talking about fiends, but now our brothers and sisters become fiends. You know, I be hearing a lot of Jake come up with stories of them taking LSD, oxycontin, promethazine, but then they'll look around and be like, our people is fiend out, but they like some of these drugs that's an Edomite drug, but they say that they not fiends. This like, come on, we getting high off of oxycontin. You know, look how this world evolved us in wickedness. But guess what? The Lord is about to turn our captivity. He's about to turn our humiliation. I'll even read it. Yeah, the Lord is turning our humiliation over. Right? Ooh, that brings out Deuteronomy chapter 30. Right? Deuteronomy chapter 30. I'm gonna start at verse 3. It says, that then Yahweh thy power will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations, whether Yahweh thy God have scattered thee. Right? This has to be fulfilled. If any of thy be driven out into the outmost part of heaven, and really going into the uttermost part of heaven, right? The uttermost part of the world, which is the end of the earth, right? America. From thence will Yahweh thy power gather thee. It said outmost part of heaven. Talking about down here. And the outmost part is the uttermost part. Which you go into the gospel, and that's America. That's the end of the world, right? And thence will God thy power gather thee. Yeah, gather thee from thence will I fetch thee. And Yahweh thy power will bring thee into a land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it. And he will do thee good and multiply thee above thy fathers. So the Lord is going to give you the land he gave you your fathers. Very plain. Verse 6. And Yahweh thy power will circumcise thy heart, right? And circumcise thy seed to love Yahweh thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul, that thou mayest live, right? So us and our seed heart is going to be circumcised as the living, and our seed when we get the kingdom, because a lot of Israel is going to die on this side. So when they come as children, they're going to be already new, because you're new, because we endure to the end. Blessing. Verse 7 is the point. It says, Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecute thee. Right? That's why the elect are going to continue to serve the Lord. Because this shit is all the curses going to turn on all the nation. It's going to hit Esau double time. And then he's going to be removed from the whole earth. And that's crazy through the spirit. The one elder was hitting me up asking me to give him understanding of Obadiah 1:18. That right there proves it, man. You know what? Let me get that. That's all the spirit. That is all. That is crazy. That is really all the spirit. The OG really asked me that, and look, we bringing out Second Esdras. He brought out yeah. This is Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. Stubble is just like what you walking on. You know, they're rocks, they're crumbs, they're stubble. It says, and they shall kindle them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh have spoken it. You know, we're basically going to do to them that they done to us in righteousness. You know, ain't no excuses with it. Let me see if I can get this in Isaiah the 5th chapter. I believe I got enough time. So Isaiah the 5th chapter, verse 24, it says, therefore as the fire devours the stubble, right? And the flames consumeth the shaft. So their root shall be the rottenness, and their blossom shall go up as dust, because they have cast away the law of Yahweh of hosts and despised the word of the Holy One of Israel, right? Because this goes into woe to those who call evil good, really going in towards Israel, but then on a deeper level, Esau and these nations, they made whatever is good bad and bad good. You know, it's almost about to become illegal to teach the word of Yahweh Shem Shai. You know, uh, right here go another one. This is. Do I want this one? I just go to it. This is Isaiah chapter 9, verse 18. Really going into the pride of Ephraim. It says, for wickedness burneth as the fire. It shall devour the bearers in the thorns, and shall kindle in the thickets of the forest. They shall mount up like the lifting up the smoke. Through the wrath of Yahweh of hosts is the land darkened, and the people shall be as the fuel of the fire. No man shall spare his brother. Now, this is really going into the northern kingdom, like, because you can even start from verse 8 and 9. But when you go into the aspect of two-thirds, and when you go into the aspect of um, the nations that is in America, because really the third of man is going to be destroyed. And who is the third of men? That really takes up for Esau. And really all Esau not going to be destroyed, but really in this side, in this war, a lot of Edomites, majority of Esau is going to be destroyed, men, women, and children. But the elect, which we look at Isaiah chapter 2, they're going to hide in their bunkers, right? Because they have to fulfill the prophecy that was already spoken to Jacob. You know, what did he say? What was said to Rebecca? You know, it was prophesied to her that the elder shall serve the young. If all Esau did, they can't fulfill that prophecy, then that mean that prophecy would be a lie. You know, and we're all going to get the taste of Esau serving under us. Very plain and simple, right? Going back to 2Esdras, reading verse 20, it says, and when the world that shall being to vanish away shall be finished, then will I show these tokens. The book shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see all together. And the children of a year old speak with their voices. The woman with child shall bring forth untimely children of 3 or 4 months old, and they shall live and be raised up. Like when the captain brought this out at camp, he showed you the analogy of how it says the children of 1 year old shall speak with their voice. Now, when you really come into the true knowledge, because we know that it is 100% truth out here. And for me, I don't, whatever them other people, whoever could be watching us not really in this thing, what I have seen, 100% truth is coming out the men of the Lord in great millstone. You know, the Lord said he given all scriptures for inspiration. All scriptures given inspiration from God. All scriptures. Proverbs 4 and 2, he said he give you good doctrine. He didn't say partial, good doctrine. If it's no in between, no, I give you some good doctrine or I give you a couple, no, good doctrine. No ifs and buts. It's 100%. Everything that's in the scripture can be taught. Some of us do. We prophesy in part and we know in part. But that don't take away that you cannot teach 100% the doctrine of Yahweh Shem Shai to lead Israel into salvation. So when it says the children of a year old shall speak with their voice, when you start coming into the true knowledge, you are a babe. That's the whole point. When we come back in this thing, we are babes. So I've been in this thing for, I believe, going on eight years, like knowing the truth for like 7, 8 years. But really being in this truth, dealing with other camps, I could have said I was in the truth. But now when you realize I wasn't really getting fed, I wasn't really in the truth. And then now I'm under the apostles, the man's going to the Lord. I am a true child. I came 1 year old in this thing, growing to be 2, 3 years old. And I'm happy to say that, you know. I want to be under the right understanding and teaching the people, the children of Yahweh Shemel Shai. And verse 22 it says, "And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty." Right? Because this is going into the prophecy of the signs of the end. The stores are going to be empty. But when we look at it in this time, how is it going to be empty? Because of the MOTB. Some people are not going to take it. Some stores are not going to take it, because they don't want to take no digital thing, you know. Some stores are going to be empty. Look, they're closing a lot of Wegmans, Walmart, Tops, Aldi's. They're closing some of those things. And watch, when this digital thing come, they're going to have to close some of them because they're not going to be making too much money, And that's how America is. They're based off of money. Lord willing, this is edifying. Again, we probably have to continue this again. With that, I'm gonna say shalom. Continue to know we are in the time of ushering the end. Stop worrying about a freaking toenail, a date. You do those things, but do not put it so far in your heart where you don't have a desire to hear prophecies or prepare yourself, prepare your house for what's to come. This is gonna come. Don't get attached to something that soon as the world is over, you be like Israel. Oh, I want to go back to Egypt. Got to look at your children and know this is bigger than you. And if the Lord gave you newborns and all of that, that's the more scary part. But it's so scary. It's going to drive you to serve the Lord. I don't care if your kid die. Guess what? They're going to be with the Lord. They in a better situation than you. You got to have that mind to just roll it over and continue to move. Lord willing, this edifying again. Shalom, shalom. Yahweh speak.